Hello everyone, back again with me Sir Julius. So after we learn about various number patterns, today we will learn about formula of number patterns. So without further ado, let us start our lesson today. So we've already learned about odd number pattern. Now we must determine the sum of the first four odd natural numbers. So how can we do it? First, we can list the first four odd natural numbers 1, 3, 5, and 7. So 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 equals to 16. But how about the first 15 odd natural numbers? If we list it, it will be more difficult for us to determine the sum of it. So how can we do it? So we have the formula. The sum of the first n odd natural numbers. The formula is n squared. So now if we must determine the sum of the first 15 odd natural numbers, it means that n is 15. So n squared equals to 15 squared equals to 225. So remember, the sum of the first n odd natural numbers is n squared. So now, for the next one, how we find n term of odd natural number. So the formula is 2n minus 1. So if we must determine the fourth term of odd natural number sequence, the fourth term will be 1, 3, 5, and 7. So the fourth term will be 7. But we can use the formula above. If we use the formula above, 2n minus 1. n is 4. So 2 times 4, 8. 8 minus 1 equals to 7. So we will go to our next example. Determine the sum of the odd natural numbers from 1 to 111. Okay, so now we've already known about the n term. The n term is 111. But to determine the sum, we must know the value of the n. So we can use the n term formula. 2n minus 1 equals to 111. So 2n equals to 112. So we've got n equals to 56. And after that, we can use the formula for the sum. The sum of the odd natural numbers is n squared. N is 56. So 56 squared equals to 3136. Okay, so for our next number pattern, we will talk about even number. So how can we determine the sum of the first four even natural numbers? It's the same, we can list the first four even natural numbers. 2, 4, 6, and 8. So 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 equals to 20. But how about the first 15 even natural numbers? It will be difficult for us if we list the even natural numbers one by one. So we can use the formula here. The sum of the first and even natural numbers is n times n plus 1. So determine the sum of the first 15 even natural numbers. So the n will be 15. So n times n plus 1. 15 times 15 plus 1. So we do the operation in the parentheses first. So 15 times 15 plus 1. 15 plus 1 equals to 16. So 16 times 15 equals to 240. Now, how we find the n term of even natural number? So the formula is 2n. So the example, determine the fourth term of even natural number sequence. So we can use the formula here. Or if we try to list it one by one, we can see that fourth term is 8. If we use the formula, 2n 2 times 4 equals 8. Okay, so now we will see our next example. Determine the sum of the even natural numbers from 2 to 98. So we've already know about the n term. N term is 98. So we must know the value of the n to determine the sum of the even natural numbers. So we can use the formula here. 2n equals to 98. So n will be 98 divided by 2, or equal to 49. So now we can determine the sum of it. We use n times n plus 1. So 49 times 49 plus 1. 49 plus 1 equals to 50. So 49 times 50 equals to 450. So now go to our next number pattern. Now we will discuss about square number. So the formula for n term of first square number sequence is n squared. So this is the example. Determine the 12th term of a square number sequence. So the n will be 12. So n squared equals to 12 squared. So equals to 144. Now go to our next number pattern, rectangular number. So the formula for n term of first rectangular number sequence is n times n plus 1. So determine the 15th term of a rectangular number sequence. So the value of the n is 15. So n times n plus 1. So 15 times 15 plus 1 equals to 240. Okay, so now we will go to our next number pattern about Pascal triangle number. Now the formula for the sum of numbers in nth row of a Pascal's triangle. So the formula is 2 to the power of n minus 1 atau 2 pangkat n minus 1. Now the example, determine the sum of numbers in ninth row of a Pascal's triangle. So we can use the formula here, 2 to the power of n minus 1. The value of the n is 9, so 2 to the power of 9 minus 1. 9 minus 1 equals to 8, so 2 to the power of 8 equals to 256. Now for our last number pattern, triangular number. So this is the formula for n term of first triangular number sequence. Half times n plus 1. So determine the 20th term of a rectangular number sequence. We can use the formula above. So half of n times n plus 1. Half times 20 times 20 plus 1. So half times 20 times 21 equals to 210. Okay, so that's it for today. I will see you again next time. Bye!